What is up, YouTube gang? Welcome back to another episode of V-Talks. So today I'm actually drawing BROLY. It's going to be ridiculous for me to say this. This is Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Dark BROLY. They're really starting to go crazy with the transformations these days on Super Dragon Ball Heroes, I tell you what. But today I wanted to talk about how I got into Dragon Ball in general and why I do so many of these drawings of Dragon Ball characters. For one, personally, it's just easy. Dragon Ball style is very easy to replicate, so that's one of the reasons why I do it, is because it's easy for me. But I also, am a fan of the show, and even though the writing is horrible, the story is terrible, the fights can be good at certain scenes, and then sometimes the certain scenes can be bad. But when it comes to all of Dragon Ball, there's something that I've always really liked about it. And the thing that I've always liked about Dragon Ball was the power scaling, I guess. Part of the lore is like the power scaling. I talked about high fantasy and low fantasy a while back, and I talked about how high fantasy has a lot of just crazy stuff with like God mode characters wiping out like mountaintops and stuff like that. Part of that exciting, cool comic book style sort of power is very drawing for me. I like to watch something like that. So when it comes to Dragon Ball, watching somebody get punched through a mountain is just cool, And I also really love the design of the Super Saiyan 4 transformation in general. I really do not like this whole like Super Saiyan God, like now they have red hair, now they have blue hair, now they have white hair. It's not really all that original. I mean, yeah, sure, some of the fights in Dragon Ball Super have been cool, but I haven't been like super huge fan of those transformations. But this one, Dark Broly, has been like one of my favorite designs to come out of Dragon Ball, even though it's completely non-canon. But I was watching the Broly movie while I was drawing this, and I was just remembering how like Broly was, he was just complete gangster, just taking out 5 dudes, throwing them into buildings and then blowing up planets and stuff. That stuff was cool to watch that and be excited about that. That's one of the reasons why I end up just keep doing Dragon Ball drawings in general. So it all started a long time ago, actually. My friend Mike Rupel had this game. I think it was Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi Budokai 3 or something like that. I played it with my friend Charlie and Mike Rupel, and I didn't understand any of the story. I just knew that like Frieza was a bad guy, and I thought that like Goku and Vegeta were brothers, and I thought that Saiyans were actually stronger as babies than they were as adults for some reason, because like they had tails, and I thought there was something that I thought just made them stronger that way. And there was just a lot of stuff that drew me into that sort of thing, but I was like, yeah, this is a little weird, so I never got into it. But when I was in the Navy, I had this chance encounter. So I was going to this place called FYE, I think it's like For Your Entertainment, and this store had all types of like movies, videos, and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, this store is really badass. I went there for a lot of my anime. I went there for the full disc set of Overlord, because that was there. I went and got Trigun, I went and got Cowboy Bebop, I went and got a bunch of anime there on disc, because I was in the Navy, and having discs of anime was just badass. So, but one of the things that I came across was all of Dragon Ball Z, the entire like series. They had the entire anime, and then they had an entire movie set which was separate, and then they had all of GT. So what I ended up doing was I bought everything pretty much. I bought the anime series, I bought the movies, I bought GT that came after it, and this was like as Super was becoming a thing. Like it was a little bit after Realm of Gods and Resurrection F and all that good stuff. So I just got everything Dragon Ball that I could, and I went back to my dorm room or whatever on the base, and I just, whenever I had free time, I would just watch Dragon Ball. But when I was watching it, I actually watched it as like 1.5 to 2 times speed on my PS4, just because that shit took forever, like 3 episodes later, yeah, so I just was like, okay, yeah, I'll just skip through a lot of that stuff. But some of the fights were really cool. I got to learn a little bit more about the characters and stuff. The early stuff was good. as far as writing goes, I think it kind of started to get bad a little bit after Frieza, just because I heard somewhere that the series was meant to end there. That's like the guy who was writing Dragon Ball meant to end it there, and he was like under a contract where they're like, well, we want you to write more stuff. Oh, okay, yeah. So then he just made the androids and the second saga and Trunks coming in and all that stuff, and then it just kept going because it was making money. So I still enjoyed it though, and then I got to GT and the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, which is like the one where they get this red fur, kind of like what I'm drawing in this video. That stuff was badass. Like I thought that transformation was really cool. Only GT absolutely sucked. Like the story was garbage. The enemies that they were fighting weren't even like as powerful as some of the enemies in Dragon Ball Z. Like they had this like stupid robot thing that was like hard to fight, and I was like, are you serious? Like this is garbage. So GT's like storyline was bad, but they still had some good fights. Like the baby Vegeta fight was cool, and that's one of the reasons why I thought like younger Saiyans were powerful, because in Tenkaichi Budokai 3 there was a character named Baby Vegeta, and he had like white hair and like these lines on his face, and he looked badass, and I was like, what the hell? Why do Saiyans come out as babies, full grown ass adults, and then they have like all this cool like markings and stuff, and then that goes away when they grow up? Like what the fuck? I had this weird concept of like what the fuck was going on. But regardless of all that, I ended up watching everything. I understood everything, and so I started actually drawing a little bit. I was playing this game called Dragon Ball Xenoverse. It was the first one, and I made a character that was supposed to be like me, but just the Super Saiyan version, whatever. You know, it was the customize your character sort of thing. And then I started like getting into drawing stuff, but it was bad. Like when I say bad, it was god awful. Like let me show you. Like boom, look at that. Boom. Yeah, no, I was not good at drawing Dragon Ball when I first started drawing Dragon Ball stuff. Like just because it's easy now does not mean that it was easy then. Before like learning Dragon Ball anatomy, it's different than normal anatomy. They've got like just different shapes to them than what most people normally do. You know, they're blocky, they're in sections. Human beings are kind of like in sections too, but the shapes are different. So I've learned a little bit more on like how to draw them efficiently, but it's a particular style, and it's a very niche style, and it's not something that I want to stick to my other stuff when I'm drawing, but it's still something I like to draw every once in a while. And that's why I have one Instagram that is just for Dragon Ball, because I don't want it cross-polluting into my other creative stuff. But yeah, so that's kind of like the overall story of how I got into Dragon Ball. Was, you know, first playing a game, being interested in it, and then playing it with my friends, and then moving on and doing some other stuff. And then that's really all there is to that, you know. But my top two favorite characters out of all the movies, all the games, whatever, have got to be Cooler, which is Frieza's brother, and Broly. Cooler and Broly have always been like the most badass characters like I've ever seen. They just swamp, you know, and the only reason they get beaten is because that's the horrible story writing that is, we need a way for the hero to win every time. Well, let's just have them power up and win, of course. Whoa, why didn't I think of that? You know, that's a lot of the bad story writing that Dragon Ball is. But besides all of that, I still enjoy the series, even if it's bad. I still enjoy the fights. Some of the power-ups look cool, but it's not like really for everybody, you know. It's a niche thing. I just wanted to share my little story on like why I just do a lot of Dragon Ball art on my YouTube channel, just because I like to do it. That's why. So thank you guys for watching and, you know, just listening to my silly story on all that stuff. You know, this Broly looks hella badass. This isn't actually like even in Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I'm combining two different forms of Broly, but besides the point, it's still cool, and that's why you do anything. It's just because you like it. So remember, guys, that takeaway from this story: if you like something, do it. Boom. There you go. And one more thing, this video is pretty long. So what happened was, as I was recording the drawing, you know, this drawing took about 6 hours, give or take. And when I shorten the drawings down, sometimes it goes a little bit too fast because I have so much time put into the video as far as drawing it. And then when I shrink 6 hours down into 10 minutes, it makes things go by like super fast. So you can't even like really look at it correctly with it looking nice. So I'm just going to end the video with me talking, and I'll let the drawing finish out, you know, so you guys can just watch that or just stop when I'm done talking. But that's the thing. I'm done narrating, so you guys can just watch the finishing process, or, you know, just call it a good day. So thanks for coming by and watching my video again, and, you know, I'll see you guys next time on B Talks. Ka-chow.